All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely early morning in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I upload a short poem and realize the power that rests therein. There's power in that poem, and I had no idea that much power was in that poem. And being so the power is in the poem, it gives me an opportunity to come to break the poem up and to break it down. I want to say to you all that we're coming up on, I can't say a new year, just days. Okay? We're coming up on days that's going to be like no other. We cannot take the New Year's to be what the world say the New Year is. Just like something I uploaded, I think yesterday, or was it yesterday, about the seasons. I want to tell you all something. You have to start from the kingdom. You have to line things up according to the way that it is in the heaven, that it be like unto on the earth. But if you want to use the earth way of thinking, feeling, seeing, and hearing, then you are just lost without a cause and with the cause. Okay? People want to teach you a way that they can win you over. People want to instill in you the words with an S in books so that they can defeat you. Because they really think that the things that's on the outer man will defeat who you are on the inner man. And true enough, a lot of them win those many over. How, Deborah? How? They win you over because heavens has already listed you over to the lake of hell. So that's what makes it so easy for the mass and the multitude to follow people that been on this devil platform for years. And they thinking they following them because they speaking righteous. They thinking they following them because they upright, they just. They thinking they following them because they say they have a ruach. They think they following them because they think that they are the servants of the Most High. All the things that Satan thought when he was in the kingdom, because he felt one thing that Satan wanted, child. One thing more than anything Satan wanted is what the people on this earth today go after. Go after. They go after what Satan always wanted when he was in his first estate. The same thing Satan wanted, he have taught people to desire it here on the earth. How can he dare win? Oh, Father Yah, thank you in the mighty name of the Most High Yah. I'm just saying it because of what he put in my spirit. What is it that Satan wanted in heaven that he conquered here on earth? Power. I know a lot of us think of the power of the elites and the Rockefeller and them. Yes, that's power. That's the power Satan has gained here on earth, people. You think the power is you. The same way Satan has gained the power and those to work his right hand power on the earth is what's caused him, though Satan picked his crew out, his ace out. And guess what they did? They fulfilled the will of my Father. He said Satan was coming down to deceive the whole world, and they have done an awesome job doing my Father's will. And here we are, still here on the earth, still supporting He that lost his first estate because he wanted power and authority in the heaven. Praise the Most High Yah that has suffered him to get it on the earth. Like I said, many people think their lives, their subscribers, their praise, their glory is from flesh. And oh, I got it. I'm the one. They don't understand. The narrow gate only leads to the way to the Father's eternal life. They didn't get it. Just because you're in the broad gate, you can't be in the broad gate and go in the narrow way. Impossible to be in the broad gate and going the narrow way. See, they got it confused, and it's okay for them to be confused. Because heaven already wrote the book and their works is written. Satan didn't want nothing but power and control. He gained that on the earth through the right hand of the Father. So a lot of people are going after the part of people that they can gain the power and control. This platform was created so that man can conquer their ability to deceive and manipulate people through what? Power and control. And they have done an awesome job. I'm going to give it to them. And that awesome job does not say that that's eternal life. No, it's eternal damnation in the lake of fire. They can't seem to grip that, and they're not going to. And it's not my calling to see to it that they hear it, they understand it, they get it, they change. No. Sister Deborah's mission is not to change you. Sister Deborah's mission is not to tell you, okay, this, and you, bing, get it. A light come on, and you go into righteousness. No. You're already written in the kingdom to where you're going. I have embraced that. I'm going to go in the year 2024 knowing that I'm going to have to walk in the narrow tunnel of the light alone. Because I understood it in the year 2023. Even to the very end, he still has enlightened me when he brought back what he told me, what was that, 17, 18 years ago about the brick wall. I still have a spirit and a flesh that receive the word from the Most High Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Satan conquers the earth by deception and deceiving and lies. I, Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness, from the bosom of the Most High Yah, have already saluted that thing. Why am I saluted? Because still I know who backed it up and who brought it down. Praise the mighty Yah. These are the things he continued to say to me that's in the flesh, a prophet of his, a servant. These things, Deborah, these things need me. That means these things got to come to pass, baby. You just stay in your lane where I'm created for you. That means in the spiritual realm of understanding. So here we are. People are winning people over through the same technique. The same technique that Satan thought that he was going to conquer in the heaven. Here he on down on the earth and has successfully completed it. It's finished. As I said before. See, when I said it is finished, that's even Satan's word. It's finished. You see? Now, why wouldn't it be finished if the Father has already set the end in his servant's spirit? To see the end already. Right before our very eyes. To feel the end already. For it not to be an end? or to deceive you all through the prophets that there is no end. Satan came down to do exactly what the will of the Father orchestrated, allowed, permissive will. The thing that I know, and the reason why I, Sister Deborah, can salute it this day of December 2023 is because even in spite of what Satan successfully completed, I can salute it because it's set up and set out on the earth as it is in heaven by the Most High Yah. And I, Sister Deborah, live to behold it and salute it and says, Father Yah, well done. Now I'm going to get into how you all have been deceived by great numbers. How Satan's deceived position has been successfully completed. It's completed. I also want to inform you now, Satan's mission is completed, but it was completed before the foundation of the world. Because before Satan's seeds can enter the earth, it has to first start from the kingdom, from the throne and its power. What do you mean? The power of the throne of the Most High Yah has two sets of books. One book all by itself called the Lamb Book of Life. The other book is the book to the lake of fire called death. And it's not called a book. It's called books. So here we go with two. Bam, they locked up. Finished. I'm a living witness. Like I said before, I'm not a dead prophet. I'm a living one that can say to the Father, well done. Your will, well done, to the completion of your will. Because his will set away from the beginning to the end. And heaven's got them all locked up with your works in the kingdom. You see the clowning, I say, you can come down here and clown. It's no way I'm going to take my life and live down here clowning when I know heaven's really got the true life of who I am. I mean, to live it, my spirit of who I am. So you think I'm going to come down here clowning? Let me tell you how they got it. This is why I today can salute Satan completing my Father's will. Because I realize that people in the flesh will not and have not or shall not deal with the spiritual end. They're going to only deal with the flesh end. I was explaining to you all something about the fourth season. And with the fourth season, I brought up Satan's seasons. See, Satan's seasons cannot compare to the four seasons. The four seasons is from Yah creation. Satan's seasons is coming to interact into all of Yah's season to screw us up and down. So we too won't enjoy the fourth season that the Father has blessed us with, because they are his chambers. They are from his bosom. So we won't enjoy those seasons because we're caught up in the seasons in which Satan has engraved into the four seasons. So what happens? We're so busy teaching people about Satan's seasons to where we have forsaken the spiritual seasons. Father, I hear you. I feel you. I feel you, Father. I feel you. I'm feeling in my spirit. Give up. Because what I just said is so potent. That is so powerful. That is so powerful in the spirit realm, what I just said. And what? 99.20 million would go over their head. Why? Because they are born of the flesh. It is the will that it go over their flesh. Why? Because when you're amended in the mindset of the flesh, you can't see over to the other side where spirit and truth rules, because you've seen too much flesh on one side. That's like this YouTube. Too many have taught the ways of the flesh to where they can't step over to the other side of the bridge to what is spirit and truth. They uphold their ability to continue in the flesh, because he told Satan, your seed and my seed gonna rumble on this earth. I'm gonna put intimacy between the two. My seed is gonna hate your wickedness and your evil. And you're going to hate the righteous that I have branded into mine. He told us that at the beginning. Here we are at the end, rumbling. Even though the end is finished, it is over. Here we are still living as if it's the beginning. That's the part of my poem I'm going to break down. So here it is. You got the mindset of the flesh. You should be able to dictate who's who and who's not. But because you have swam so long in life, in the flesh, your flesh can't even see, nor hear, nor digest, nor embrace spirit. Do you really believe your flesh was first? It has that type of power? It never had it. Your spirit is first. Why? Because it's already written in heaven where it's going to have spend its eternal life before heaven and earth was created. Your spirit had already been written either in the books to the lake of hell or in the book of life. It's already written before the foundation of the world, before you was in your mother's womb, before your mother and your father even conceived you, before they even exist. Heaven had you already written where your spirit is going to spend its eternal life. So while you down here clowning and the prophet is bringing forth this type of power, if you don't budge at it, guess what? You are of the flesh, because your flesh cannot budge at that which is spirit. You see why? Because it's so loaded with flesh, it don't want anything to do with spirit in the midnight hour. Because it's almost like I know my way home. I know where I'm going. You see? That's how it tells you your flesh is your worst enemy. Because your flesh will show you your way home. Either it's eternal life or it's in the lake of fire. Your flesh will show you where your spirit is going. Something people don't want to hear, don't want to know, don't want to feel, don't want to understand, don't want to see, because it's too powerful for them to digest while they're living they fake life on the earth, as if heavens don't have them locked in and locked out of their eternal destiny. So what you have people wanting to teach you year after year after years, week, months, and days from the flesh realm. Let's go to the holidays. I explained to you all, the Father poured up with 4 seasons. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. The reason why these 4 seasons were created, they are the chambers of the bosom of the Father created, okay, for the spirit man. This is why people's spirit changes and feel the 4 seasons. But because you're in the flesh, you're not going to feel the 4 seasons in which the Father has set before you. What I explained to you all. I looked in the mirror this morning and I'm saying, oh, my nose is peeling. Winter is coming in, y'all. That's how Sister Deborah knows. And also I can feel from the inner man when the seasons change as well. I'm really good at that. So what I'm saying is the 4 seasons were meant for you to embrace from your inner man to your outer man. Your inner man is feeling it and your outer man is accepting it and living happy in the seasons, taking advantage of the seasons. But I told you there's 4 seasons that the Father has given us, and they start with spring. Born, is spring, winter is dead. So he wants you to be able to grip those 4 seasons in which he has created for us. But he wanted us to grip it from the inner man to the outer man. We grip it from the spiritual realm and we feel it on the outer man in the flesh. This is why come the dead season, fall and winter, suicide is at its highest. Y'all didn't know that. Let me show you how high it is. 75% of suicide happens between fall and winter, because those are the dead seasons. And what people are doing, they don't understand those seasons is caught up in your spirit, man. And your flesh can't receive what Yah has created for you to enjoy, and they flip it to be their enemy. They flip it with time, seasons, months, holidays. They flipped it to where you will get the worst of the worst. Oh, Satan, no, he coming. Woo, he laid that out on y'all. So you won't see what Yah has created for us to enjoy. First and foremost, I want you to understand the way he allowed the earth to enjoy it, they take advantage of it. It was meant for the humans to enjoy more so than just the earth. The earth take advantage of it. They enjoy it. But you all have been taught so much about the holidays to where you can't see the holidays of the Most High Yah. We ain't gonna call them the holidays, the 4 seasons. So they changed their seasons to holidays. And they implanted them into the Father's created season. So people can be confused of the 4 seasons that the Most High Yah has created. You see? But the 4 seasons interfere with our thinking, our feelings, our emotions. All these things. Why? Because it deals with our spirit. We're supposed to enjoy those seasons in our inner man. And enjoying them in our inner man is supposed to flow out of our outer man and enjoy it, and enjoy it with your children and your spouse and your family in a way that it comes from the spirit man. Just as the earth enjoyed every season that hit it. It embraced it. From spring, summer, fall, and winter, the earth that birthed everything. Salute the Most High Yah creation. Flesh down here, don't give a rat's behind. They don't even recognize the 4 seasons that we were given. They more so want to recognize feast days, the moon, the stars, feast days, this day, and this day. Oh, Torah said. But before Torah was, the 4 season is. Therefore, it shows you how so far off balance and how far deep in the ocean you all are and going to be. I salute Satan's completing his purpose in my Father's will. Praise the mighty Yah. So here the world comes as the representative of Satan. They take these holidays, as many call them pagan days. They can call them whatever they want to. It's none of your business. What difference if they have holidays and pagan days and celebrate Valentine's, Easter, Christmas, 4th of July? What is it to your business? If you are a righteous man of the Most High God, if you are a servant of the Most High God, while they're celebrating theirs, you should be celebrating the 4 seasons that Father gave you from the Spirit. Why is it you can't celebrate the 4 seasons of the Spirit? You know why? Because you're so busy over in the world trying to train the world about what they're doing to where you can't even enjoy the 4 seasons. Only way they enjoy the seasons if it comes with the feast. If it comes with what they said in Torah. If it comes with the days of yesterday. Baby, if yesterday was all that and something, why is it we need a Messiah? Why did we need to be redeemed? Why did we need to be delivered? Why was we lost? Why did we need the Messiah to die on the cross? Somebody tell me, Why do we need all of that? If yesterday had it mastered to be in its righteousness, what are we standing on today? The sick minds of people who reached back in the old and brought it up to you all, sick mind today. And this is why you see how Satan was able to complete the mission and the will of the Father. Wham! Just as simple as that. Because the focus on people are so in the world to where they want to talk about black marrying white marrying black, holidays, Christmas, all of these things that has no bearing over the 4 seasons. The reason why the highest suicide is in the fall going into the winter, and from the fall to the winter, is because those are the seasons that everything on the earth, the ground and everything starts to die. But because inner man don't understand that nothing in you have to die. It only died out of traditions of the Father. But the Father said, I give you, man, woman, the 4th season to enjoy. You won't get not one melanated person to enjoy the winter. You won't get not one melanated person to enjoy the fall. You won't get no melanated person to enjoy the 4 seasons of the Most High Yah that he brought from his bosom and he gave to mankind. You know why? Because they so busy over here in the world trying to tell the world about their pagan holidays to where they forsaken the word of the Most High Yah for his 4 seasons. It's just like the tare found in the wheat overnight. That's how the 4th season, the world brought in the holidays to blind the 4 seasons. But if we understood the 4th season and embrace it as a gift from Yah for our spirit man to our flesh man, then therefore we wouldn't be worried about their pagan holidays, but we will be teaching people how the holidays got interacted with the 4 seasons. Now, I remember the parable in the instructions and direction book called the Bible, where it says the husband or something like that was growing and the wheat was there, and all of a sudden they went to sleep, they come back, they see that the tare has grown overnight into the wheat. Well, this is how the word versus the words, even to today. Everything we have to see in a sight of the spirit, so we can embrace it in the flesh. But if you don't see things from the spiritual level, you cannot talk, walk, speak, look, and minister to no one about the Most High Yah in the flesh until you understand things in the spirit. Now, the reason why I say that is because the world got all these pagan holidays and they just sold into the seasons that Yah has created. They just sold all of these pagan holidays into the seasons. But I explained to you all my life since I was 14, the Father has chastised me regarding when I was 14 about season, and I have embraced it ever since. I respect his creation. And it's a joy that comes down in you. Y'all missing it. It comes in you, and you have to put it in its right criteria, because if you don't put it in the right perspective, in the order, in the way it came down in the spirit realm, then you'll miscrew it with what the world can't receive it. You see, they receive it through the pagan holidays. But at this, when they receive it through the pagan holidays, they're trying to understand, well, why suicide is doing this time all the time, every year. And it's getting worse and worse because no one respects the 4 seasons that my Father put in their bosom to enjoy. And it wasn't just for you to enjoy it in the spirit, because the spirit is what gives it the authority for you to enjoy it in the natural. But no one listened to the spirit realm, which is still good. It's still good. It's over. It's finished. You know, God ain't trying to force you. The Most High Yah, God or whatever, ain't trying to force you to get it right now. when he had it right before the foundation of the world. He ain't spending no more thousands of years for you to get nothing right. It's over. It's finished. It was finished before it started. Did y'all know that? How could you say that, Deborah? Because before heaven and earth was created, you was already written with your works, and it was locked in. What do you mean? What do you mean? Before the foundation of the world, everything that is was, everything that was is, everything that shall be has already been before the foundation of the world. So where are you? So when people talk about, I think, this is me, as a prophetess in the wilderness, because, and this is for so many years, here we are in tribulation. We in the judgment of the Most High Yah. We in the wrath of the Father. And you have the audacity to still be talking about the pagans celebrating their holidays. Why do you waste your time? As if your time, let me show you why you know it's not meant. It's not meant for you to have anything in righteous. You know why? Because you gain nothing from hearing over and over and over, oh, these are pagan holidays, these are pagan holidays, these are pagan holidays, these are pagan holidays. What do you gain from people year after year, month after month, week after week telling you that it's about pagan holidays? They celebrating this and they celebrating it. Where did Yah send his servants to come down on the earth? This gonna bust the egg, crack the egg right here. Why would Yah waste his time sending his elects, his chosen servants, to keep drilling into y'all head about what the world doing with their pagan holidays? What the world matching white married, black married, all of this stuff. Why would Yah be caught up in polygamy? Why would Yah in tribulation time, in judgment time on the earth, in the wrath of the Father, and the fire that he has kindled on the earth today has been prophesied that it will step into today, and we're sitting here talking about what the world is celebrating? How could that be of Yah? Yah ain't gonna waste what he called you to do to make you focus on what the world is doing. He wants you to focus on the light, the lamp, spirit and truth. Teach spirit and truth with the light in the hand. When you see darkness, bring light to it. These people are so caught up in the holidays of the world till the world is in them, and in them is the world, and they can't discern. The reason why they keep talking about the holidays of the pagan in the world, because they don't understand the world loves its own. So do you. That's why you talk about it all the time. Instead of bringing the spiritual aspect of why the world is celebrating the holidays and how the world celebrating the holidays has no bearing on you and eternal life. So why mend it? Why teach it? Why preach it? Why drill? Black and white and black. When y'all see us, he see the spirit in which he blew in us. That's it. That spirit that has his image, that's an image like to him. It ain't him, his image. It's an image like unto him, which is a spirit. So when he looking down here, he don't see black and white. He don't see Hebrew, Greek, Jews, male nor female. We missed it because we missed it from heaven. The way heaven willed it to be, we missed that whole overall. And we saw only the world, and that's what we teach on. That's where our lights and strivers come from. That's why the world praises its own. That's why the world supports its own. See, if you are of the light, you will support the light. But when you are of the world, you ain't going to support nothing but the world. And the way the world thinks, feel, act, and look, and talk, speak. So you can actually look upon the world and you can see who's worldly in this day and time, because it's over. It's finished. If you got the light in your hand, you can see who's walking in darkness. That's the purpose of the light. So you can find your way, which is the narrow way, to everything left and right that's righteous, left and right on every side of you. And you walk straight that way. As I explained to you, when people start talking about the holiday and trying to drill the world, you know how big the world is? The world loves its own. The world going to praise. It's going to continue what it's doing because that was the mission from the heaven. But what mission called you? You say you of the Most High Yah. How are you from the Most High Yah? And all you talk about is what the world is, what the world was, what the world is doing. What do you have to share with he that is walking in the narrow gate? Nothing, because there's nothing in you that is spirit and truth. You don't even have the light in your right hand. You didn't walk in darkness so much, you calling your messages the light. And one thing I said, I salute the fact that Satan done a successful job in the will of my Father in heaven. So what I'm saluting is my Father's will. And it makes more and more sense each day I get on here and see the clowns clowning. And it's over. It's finished. And they still clowning. Now, I decided to even make sure that I am not a part of the world. Because a lot of times you all thinking, because these people on this devil platform saying Ahaya, Ahaya, they saying Yah, Yeshua, Yeshua HaMashiach, they saying Holy Spirit, they saying the Ruach HaKodesh, they saying all these things, and then they turn around and teach you at a level that's still flesh. They can't bring you up out of the flesh because they can't bring you where heaven got you locked in. So a lot of people today, they don't even get the fact that, baby, you are already sold out. So all this going to church, hooking with all these cults with the Hebrew Israelite movement, talking about you the true Jews, you the true fools. That's who you are. You see, all these men talking about men this, hating on women like a bit. You can hate all you want. You miss Genesis 3 and 15. The serpent seed on one and the woman seed on the other. That means the spiritual seed versus Satan's seed. He already laid it out to Satan. Satan, let me tell you what's up. Your seed's going to be on one side and my seed's going to be on another. I'm going to put something between the two so they won't have that in common. And what it is, what did he put between the both? What did the Father put between Satan's seed and the woman's seed? What did the Father put between Satan's seed and the woman's seed? Now one of you know. He put intimacy, which is hate. The spiritual seed is gonna hate wicked and evil from Satan. And Satan gonna hate the spiritual seed because righteous is branded within. That's how Abraham was included in righteous. Abraham didn't know what was going on in the vision. Matter of fact, he was afraid. Read the first verse. Until the Father told him, bro, you're already in there. You already written. You're already in righteous, meaning you've been branded before the foundation to come back in righteousness. So that's why it's not important to lean so heavy on the ways of the world and the things that the world is doing when all things been prophesied. We need to look at what the spiritual realm has warned us about, has talked about, has preached to us, has taught us, that's constantly teaching us in this day and time. Why? Because it's what's in the spirit realm that dictate what's in the flesh, in the world. You see, and in the plan of Satan is that which is his spirit. Because the spirit realm is what's crushed the heads of the serpent every time. That's why the woman's seed is going to be able to crush the head of Satan. He told you that at the beginning. It was said at the beginning to give you an example how heaven has orchestrated things. Man went into the book and he smeared the whole book and rewrote everything the way that these men are walking today. Wicked and evil. And they calling it righteous. So I said to the Father yesterday, why did you allow them to have written such a book in such a wicked way? He said, because their way is the way of the world. And Satan came down to deceive the whole world. The book is an instructions and a direction. The Holy Spirit is coming to teach righteousness. truth, spirit and truth, and the light. So many that follows the instruction direction book without the Ruach HaKodesh, you would know them. Because if they talking about pagan holidays, we in that day, a critical time in life. And you mean to tell me these people still talking about pagan holidays? Let me tell y'all something. What he's saying is this. He's saying, Deborah, what a man is in his flesh is not who he is in his spirit. So therefore, what you have to do is see who this man is in his flesh. Is it any righteousness, just, upright, faith, belief? You see? Do you see it in that man? If you see these things, you cannot say that this person is of the flesh when he's carrying the characteristics of the spirit. But when people just all the time, for the sake of likes, subscribers, being on this devil platform year after year and praising and pretending and clowning for likes, subscribers, and praise and getting honor and getting support, to focus on what the world is doing over what is spirit, then these are the ones that you know already. They are mission. They are mission for the books. Because their actions, even in their flesh, is always trying to get something to speak on the flesh so it will uplift their flesh desire to get praise, to get glory, to get honor. See, what has happened is the reason why Satan have done an excellent job is because he followed the order of my father. See, that's what I do. I let y'all know. My father, he is all that and something. And I do know who he is. So I don't need the flesh of no woman and no man to counteract nothing I say, nothing I do, how I say it, and the way I say it. Because it ain't going to mount up to nothing but a pot of burnt beans coming out of your mouth. Holidays and all of that, and even these feasts, it wouldn't be no reason for the Father to suffer Yeshua to come back and remind us that in the end days, they're going to be feasting. Did not in Torah, that's what they did. Every chance they got, they feast. But what people didn't understand, these people feast didn't have nothing. These people gathering didn't have no spirit and truth resting therein. It didn't have no light, y'all. There are a people, a melanated people, who really think that they all that answer to the point they see the outer man and not the inner. They salute the outer man than the inner. They praise and give glory to the outer man and not the inner. Not understanding that what Yah pulls out when he comes, it's going to be who they are in the inner, not who they are on the outer. He's going to leave the outer man right where he's at. That's why no one connected Isaiah chapter 3 and watch this here. That's why no one never tried to connect Isaiah 3 with Revelation 18. In Isaiah 3 and where's that? And 8. Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen. He's talking about a people because their tongues and their doings are against Yah to provoke his eyes of his glory. What has happened there, Father? Then he come right back in that same chapter 3 and verse 25, telling the women that I'm going to destroy. Now he's not talking about the fleshly women because they so ignorant. They think their husband and everything, their kids and everything is good. So holy than I. But Yah said, I'm going to destroy thy women. Thy men. I'm going to destroy thy men. Even your mighty men, meaning your tough ones, the one that think that they bad and I'm tough. I got guns. I'm a man. I'm a man. That's what the mighty is, because he wants you to know you're gonna be bad as bad can be when I take your tail out of here. And I got it listed in Isaiah 3 and 25. See how bad you're gonna be then. And see here in Isaiah 3 and 8, he says Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is falling because of their tongue and their doings. See, that's telling you their mouth and their actions. This is what polygamy is, you all. This is what these men are doing, hating on women. All their actions and what they are doing. It's going to wind them up in where they have been predestined. I love the Father because he has so many spiritual prophecies of warning. And only way you can receive it if you got the light in the right hand. 99 billions don't have it. That's why the gate is narrow. So I said to the Father, I said, well, why are you using this word fallen? You said the same thing about Babylon is fallen. What is with that? He said the same way, Babylon coming down, Judah, Jerusalem, likewise. So you're not doing anything when you think you're lying, but you are doing something. You conquering the ways of the world. You right where you need to be. You're teaching what you need to be teaching. You're right where the prophecies and the word out of the mouth of Yah to his prophet said you need to be. You're there. That's why the prophet can say it's over and it's finished. Satan did an excellent job according to my Father's will. Praise the mighty Yah. While y'all out here still clowning, you clowning for the show to the lake of hell. That's all you clowning for. So when Sister Deborah was trying to get y'all to understand that if you understood the four chambers that we were to embrace in the inner man and bring it on the outer man. How did I bring it on the outer man? I enjoy each season. I took advantage of recognizing that these are days, these are seasons that my Father has created. And I recognize it and I appreciate it. Just like his grace and mercy. I learned to appreciate that, Father, you gave grace and mercy to the white, the black, the good, the bad, the wicked, the righteous. You gave grace and mercy to all of us. You gave it to all of us. He is so just in his ways, in the way he does things, the way he created things, the way he orchestrates things. I'm sitting here looking at it in the wilderness and saying, ooh-wee, you are some kind of father. I see, I feel, I understand, I hear what Yeshua was saying. The Son of Man. I can feel that thing. And see, that's another thing. People don't understand that the will of the Father for those that walks in the light and have spirit and truth, you got to feel that thing. Running around here speaking that thing, trying to mimic that thing, trying to teach that thing, trying to walk that thing, and trying to look it on the outer man ain't gonna get you nothing. Because after you finish decking the outer man, speaking out of the mouth of flesh, understanding out of the flesh of your understanding, and the wisdom out of your flesh, the knowledge out of your flesh, along with your emotion and your opinion and your feelings, baby, ain't got nothing coming. Because this thing always been spirit and always will and always shall end in eternal heaven in the spirit realm. So all these people down here clowning, finding time all the way up until the end. I can see if they were going to the maybe 15, 20 years ago. But these people are, it was back then there too. But these people are moving this flesh all the way to the end. That's all they see, the ways of the flesh. Don't take your energy bashing what the world is doing. Satan already won that end. He won that end. All Satan wanted to do is have power and control. The Father gave it to him right here on the earth. And then he gave him his own seeds to gain it. I, Sister Deborah, salute the fact that Satan completed my Father's will. I'm not giving Satan no glory, no honor. I'm giving the Most High Yah, because everything Yah has created for his purpose, not for yours. I know people stuck on stupid because they think it's about them, and always will. They gonna live and die. That's why I said a fool. You gonna live a fool, die a fool, because you really thought that it was about you, your subscribers, your likes, your praise, your honor, your glory. And you gave nothing to the spiritual realm, which represents Yah. So when we talk about holidays, I told my children that I'm going to take every season and bring it into what I desire to bring it into. Why? Why are you going to do that, Deborah? Because I'm not you. You're not me. I am not of the darkness. I am of the light. I am not of unrighteous. I am of the righteous. I have the faith in the spirit realm. You have the faith in your flesh. I have the belief in the spirit realm. You have the belief in your flesh. You see? I have everything that I have rest in the spirit realm. How did it rest in the spirit realm? Because the Father said to me as a child, seek ye the kingdom first, and all shall be added. Meaning, you can withstand anything that's going on in the world. You can withstand it because you understand it in the spirit. You know where everything began. You know where everything ends. You know that. You know where power began. You know where power ends. You know where dark began, and you know where light ends. You know, because you seek the kingdom first. So because you seek the kingdom first, I'm going to allow you to be in the world but not of it. What do he mean? Well, I'm going to bring you to this end. I'm going to not bring you. I'm going to watch you on this end, shield you like I did Job. And I'm going to allow you to understand this end better than this end understand itself. Why? Because you seek ye, Deborah, the kingdom first. Not only did you seek me first, you still seeking me. Because you still hear me out of that ear to hear. You still see me in the spirit realm. You still know me because you always talking about my power, my authority, my will, my purpose. You always talking about me, Deborah. Your whole conversation always resting on trying to get people to know that he is, he was, and he shall be all that he is. All of it. It's nothing on this earth going to override him. That's what why? Because I've seeked him and realized I found him. And because I found him, you and nobody else don't have the power, nor the eye, nor the ear, nor the mouth to counteract nothing about this sister. You see? But I, Sister Deborah, is a student still yet and foremost of the Most High Yah. I don't hear from what the people on the earth say, but I judge the ones that's here on the earth, in the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. They are of the flesh and the flesh only. They understand the ways of the flesh. That's why it's so easy for them to go in and keep on throughout the year, month, week, days, and throughout the seasons. The holidays, which are pagan holidays that the world built up on their own. Leave them alone. Leave the world alone. If you're not of the world, why are you constantly wanting to be a part of their teaching of the world? If you put that much energy and that much strength in trying to identify what the world is doing, you will be a bad individual in the kingdom. But because your whole life is built on gaining likes, subscribers, praise, and recognition in the flesh, till you have forsaken the whole will of the Father in the spirit. And you desire what the world has to offer you, which is a little check. to keep quiet when they tell you, to say only this, and to speak on this. All these issues that's going on through tribulations, all these issues that's going on with the judgment of the Most High Yah, all these issues revealing the Father fierce and his fire, his chastising, been prophesied, and you don't hear nobody speaking it. You know why? They so caught up in the ways of the world, and that's what they want from you all, to give you the ways of the world so they can get subscribers, likes, and praise and support. And you all support them based on what they telling you that's in the world. How are you not in the world? Is that all you talk about is the world? If you can only talk about what's in the world, then you are of the world. If you can only cover what the world is doing and how the world is doing it, and sometimes trying to bounce it on what the instructions and direction is saying, then you still yet of the world. You're in it and you of it, and you are about the world because you're looking for the world to give you praise, glory, honor, and support you, and then Satan issue you a check. You are of the world, said the prophetess in the wilderness. You are of the world because you give the world what the world wants to receive. Let me explain to y'all. Holidays, no matter what the pagans set up, let me give you something what the Father told me early this morning. He said, Deborah, the world sets up the pagan holidays in what I already created, which is seasons. How can you complain about what the world has set up as pagan holidays when you never embraced or received my seasons? Those were blessings to you all. The earth recognize it and appreciate it. Why is humans so caught up with the pagans? It's because they miss the holidays, you guys. They still feel, when these Hebrews and these so-called Jews, male and female, when the holidays come, why do you think that they get on here always bashing the holidays? If you're not of the world, why do you feel the need to keep bashing the pagan holidays? They're not bashing you. They just doing them. They just playing them. They just worshiping. But why is it so important for you to bash the holidays? It's because you're trying to get likes and subscribers and you don't give a rat's behind how you get them. Because you still in the world. You are the world. You are of the world. Because you cannot bring nothing out of the pagan holidays to show you and to override their holidays. For example, yesterday I uploaded a video and I wanted you all to really feel that thing. But the Father said that, but they can't feel what I don't give them to feel. And I understand that. I said, but Father, there's so much power in it. He said, no matter how much power in, flesh is flesh. If they come here to represent flesh, that's how they feel flesh. They see flesh. They understand flesh to represent flesh. They ain't going to feel that thing in the spirit realm, which makes sense. So I was explaining to you, Yah gave us for seasonal. Just imagine if we would take those seasons and build up our way on the outer man and how we embrace what the Father has given us from the inside out. He wanted us, this is why suicide is at a high level, because the 4 seasons were supposed to have some detachment to the way you feel. And because they can't identify, why am I feeling like this when it's spring? Why do I feel like this when it's summer? Why do I feel like this when it's fall? Or why do I feel like this when it's winter? Because no one had respect for my Father's creation from heaven. And because they had no respect for the Father's creation from heaven, then therefore they come down to the earth and they enjoy the pagan holidays that has been set within the borders of the 4 seasons. Now you get people on here every year throughout the year complaining and making videos about Valentine's Day, Easter, and all these holidays. You know why they do that? It's because something in them feel this thing every year and they can't identify. So Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness come bring spirit and truth with the light down onto the earth, and they still can't grip it. Because they thinking that, let me go over here and talk about the pagans. Let me go out here and talk about the world celebrating the pagan days. Because they feel if I can justify, clarify, and identify the wrong in the world, then I can be okay from who I am. It'll make me feel good from my inner man, and it's not. Because the Father say, seek ye the kingdom first, and all shall be added. And what a lot of them did, they seeked the world in the way that they can make a difference in way they can talk, see, think, preach, teach in the world. And this is their mood swing. It's what they give to the world and how they speak on the world. Because they have no inner man, which is spirit and truth in them to speak on the things which are spiritual. As I said, the fourth season, that's spiritual, you guys. The fourth season is detached to our moves of our spirit. And because we can't identify that the Father blessed us with season to enjoy and do things in them season, enjoy the season, take advantage of them. I tell you what, the world does their pagan days. Don't they take advantage of it? They moved all those pagan days into the fourth season. How deep is that? It's like the wheat and the tare come growing inside of the wheat, setting up their pagan days. What's wrong with you? Take the fourth season and make something out of it so you can enjoy the four seasons in which Yah has given every man, woman, and boy. Whether they right or unrighteous, whether they white or whether they black, Gentile or Gentile. I mean, Gentile or Jew or Gentile, black or white. He gave all mankind for a season. So the fourth season is detached to our spirit. And that's why suicide is at a high rate during the season of dead, which is fall going into winter. So what did man do? They decide to implant some holidays in there so that they can celebrate the holidays instead of celebrating the fourth season, which is the four chambers that was given to us to enjoy. So you see how people get on these devil platforms and they're ignorant to the highest degree of ignorance when they want to teach about the pagan holidays, not fully understanding it. They want to understand, they want you to understand it let me explain that right. They want you to understand the pagan holidays out of their emotions and their feelings because they can't detach. Why am I feeling this way when Christmas is coming up? Why am I feeling this way doing Thanksgiving? Oh, why am I feeling this way doing Easter? Oh, why am I feeling this way doing 4th of July? Oh, I know. Let me make videos so I can get subscribers and likes so they can praise me in my emotional feelings of what the world is doing. Because if I could say something against what the world is doing, then it's going to make me feel good. That's all wrong, y'all. It's all wrong. The world has taken on the Father's fourth season and made themselves pagan holidays. So they won't have to recognize the fourth season. They decided to implant pagan holidays in this fourth season to keep from embracing that which the Father has given us in the spirit to enjoy. So what do? When we enjoy it in the spirit, then we enjoy it in the flesh. So the world says, well, okay, I'm not going to enjoy the spiritual realm of the fourth season that the Creator we know gave it to us. I'm going to implant holidays in there and I'm going to enjoy them throughout the season. You see, what people don't understand is that's how they connected the season to all the wrong things. To get you to think that the fourth season wasn't supposed to be looked at and appreciated as a gift from Yah. The whole earth appreciated. But we as human who came from the earth is the only thing that don't appreciate the gift from Yah. But the earth can appreciate it. So what happens? Here go these, the world, they go in and they just implanted their own holidays in the fourth season to keep you ignorant as ignorant could be. And I wonder why Enoch didn't speak that. You see? The same one who wrote, the Roman Catholic wrote this King James instructions and direction is the same one who tampered with Enoch and every other book these Negroes go picking up. And I can't even say Negroes. I say Melanated people go picking up and bringing it. They are the weakest people to believe any and everything. That's why they can't believe that which is spirit, because they the easiest one in the world to believe whatever nationality tells them, they will believe it. Say for instance, if I had 1,000,000 people on this side, and then a white woman that says she's a prophet, she got 1,000,000 people on that side. Do you know if I had 1,000,000 melanated people on this side where I'm at, and I'm speaking spirit and truth, and she's speaking in the church, the melanated people will go to her, the white lady that's speaking her belief. This is also something the Father has trimmed from the beginning to the end. He has shown us our mindset, how we think, how we feel. Let's look at Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 is clear as day, give us an end game. But we reject Deuteronomy 28 just to live the lie. Because we reject anything that is founded in spirit and truth. Why? With the light. Why? Because they want you to only be a partaker in them who walks in the broad gate and speak darkness to those who cannot see, nor can they hear. Why? Because that's their mission. Genesis 3 and 15 lined the whole plan out. He lined it up and he lined it out. Satan, I'm giving you your seed, but I'm going to have my spiritual seed. So a lot of people didn't know the most high spiritual seed was David, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Solomon. They didn't know. They didn't know. So they call themselves mimicking. Watch what I'm saying. They looked at Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They never, ever in the year 2023 going into 24 and the 6,000 years, they never looked at the seed, which are the sheep of Yah. They never looked at them to see their spiritual walk, talk, actions. They always took on the things they did in the flesh. So today they look at you and they tell you, when we can worship and we can do this because they did this in the flesh, so that means we can do it in the flesh. But wait a minute, hold up. Have you mimicked what they did, who they were in the spirit? No, because they are Satan's seed, y'all. See, Satan's seed will look at David, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they will mimic what they did in the flesh. And then they will teach you all the things that Solomon, David, Jacob, and all of them did in the flesh is so righteous. Okay? It's their actions were so righteous. Not teaching you who these men were in the spirit. Did their spirit match their flesh? Most of the time it did. But it shows you the total difference from them in the flesh and from them in the spirit. It showed you that they were still men loaded with sin, but yet y'all had a seed in them that was showing up and showing out in the spirit. See if you get a melanated man to follow their spirit realm. You won't get one. You won't get one man alive on this earth to follow Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Solomon, David, and all others that was the spiritual seed in Genesis 3 and 15. They won't get you to do it. They won't get you to do it. I sat back and watched David hoop and holler in Psalms, Proverbs. I'm sitting here hearing David hoop and holler. I said, Father, why does David keep on whining and crying and asking for repenting? David repent all the way from beginning to the end, y'all. Of everything he did was wicked and evil. These melanated men running around here taking all their sin and magnifying it into the whole world. That it's okay to do their sin over again because of who they were. You didn't know who they were. You knew who their ways in their flesh, but you didn't know their way in the spirit. Because in Genesis 3 and 15, they too was the woman's seed that the Father sent down to represent him. That's why the sower that sowed the seeds sowed 4 sets. And only one of those sets of seeds that he sowed in the while he was sowing went to soil. That was the seed of the woman. Like unto the whole beginning of Genesis all the way to the Revelation, explaining to you the Father always got a ram in the bush. You never knew who the ram was. That's why you never knew about the ram in the bush that the Father always had. Then you know he always have a plan of his stashed right away. While you all are mimicking these people action in their flesh. The ways of their flesh committed the sins of the flesh. You cannot make the ways of their flesh to be the righteous in the spirit. How can it be spirit if they did it in their flesh? How could your marriage be a marriage in the spirit? It can't be. That's why he said it's a mystery of a woman and a man becoming one. Because in heaven, you ain't gonna be one. You're gonna be separate. It's a mystery. Because the mystery is what was, what is, what shall be. I already separated them, Deborah, tell them, from the heaven. Even though they weren't on the earth. See, y'all missed it. And you're still missing it. So, I just feel sad for people who are still in this midnight hour clowning about people celebrating holidays. With me, the reason why I'm against it is because when these days, pagan days that have been embedded into these here 4 seasons, I'm going to start making my own of what I want to do in the 4 seasons in which the Father has given me. And I'm going to take on my children. If they want to participate, they can. I'm going to do what I want to do. Why? Because I have sought the kingdom of the Father and I have put him first. So it's not about what people say I can and cannot do, or I don't worship this pagan holiday. Let me explain something. The reason why the pagan holidays that have sown in here cannot make you nor break you is because the season wasn't created to be as, okay, this is your kingdom, your way to heavens or hell. The 4th season was put there for you to enjoy on the earth. They're not put there to tell you if you're going to heaven and hell. Like unto the pagan holidays is not to judge you whether you're going to heaven or hell. So what man wants to do, especially among the Hebrew Israelite cult, that's why you know that they all are cults, because they want you to have this mindset that pleases their ways. But yet they are not upholding any righteous. They have no belief. They have no faith of the spirit. They have no, faith, belief in the spirit. All of their belief rests in their flesh. What they want to teach you from their flesh in. They want you to understand in the tradition of the flesh. So you over here at feasts and the world over here at their days that they set. What's the difference from your feast and their holidays? What do your feast has to do with the holidays, their pagan holidays? What do your feast have in common with their pagan holidays? They have a lot in common. They're one of the same. Let's go there. Let me see if I can find that in Matthew's. And I don't know exactly where it's at, but let me see. Matthew's. Where is it, Father? Where? Oh, I can quote it? Okay. He said that I can quote it. He said I can quote it. And it is said in the instructions and direction. It shall be, in red, it says, it shall be like the days of Noah. And what is he saying? In a book called Matthew, in a book called Mark, in a book called John, in a book called Luke, when it says it's going to be like the days of Noah. And then it categorizes you some of the wicked ways that they were doing. And the number one was feasting. Because feasting is what the melanated people think in them is a way that pleases Yah in the spirit. You're eating and you're gathering does not please Yah in the spirit, because your flesh is chaotic. It's wicked and evil. And you want to follow the feast and sit down and eat and drink and say that represents a spiritual Yah? I don't think so. I don't think, I know so. So the feast days is warned as something wicked and evil. Why? Why would Yeshua pull up like that? He said, what he's saying is out of his father's will, his father's word. So father's son, his only son, not his only son, he sent the Son of Man to minister to our melanated men. That in the end days, just like Noah, y'all gonna be feasting, marrying, and giving in marriage. What is it that the melanated people don't get? Why is that warning heavy to represent the wickedness of the days of Noah? Where is giants? Where is fallen angels in that? Why didn't Yeshua tell us it's going to be fallen angels in the end days? Why didn't Yeshua tell us that there's going to be giants in the land? Somebody talk to me. Because he only told us what he said the Father told him to give us. While man is still filling and fooling you all up with a lot of lies. Why would the Son of Man come to remind us the days of darkness of the end? It's going to be like feasting and marrying and giving in marriage. It's not the men matching Genesis chapter 6. It has no detachment, none whatsoever, with the fallen angels and giants. This shows you Luke come up and give his same thing. Oh, it's going to be like the days of Noah. Feasting, eating, drinking, marrying, and giving marriage. Oh, you say this is your book? What part of that you didn't grip? In spirit and in truth. You didn't grip it in spirit and truth. You gripped it in your flesh and you taught it and still teaches it out of the flesh. And it's okay. It's over. Everything y'all do when y'all teach and you teaching this thing out of the flesh realm, you are of the flesh. The reason why they can't bring it to the spiritual realm is because the spirit of God is not in them. They have lived. Do you know people in the church right now think that they have the Holy Spirit? They think they are saved. The Father said, let them think whatever they want. Well, okay, I'm going to show you what he said. It's just like they have seen in time past, and they see this going on today. The melanated men are being hung on a tree. The melanated women are being hung on a tree. They was on a tree way back in the days, and then back in the slavery, and all the way back during that time where they not hung up on the trees ever. Did I deliver them? See, y'all messed up from the floor up. Y'all seeing my most high like unto the flesh. Oh, no. You don't know what you messing with. So you go on and keep on doing what you're doing because it lined up with your eternal destiny. So when you're talking about people celebrating the pagan holidays, you have to line that thing up in spirit and truth. So when I see the people celebrating all these pagan holidays, and then I see people who say this book is about them, and they are feasting and coming together and drinking and feasting, and they are marrying and giving in marriage. Giving in marriage is what happened in Genesis chapter 6. That gave the Father his ideal of ending, because what the men are doing. The beginning of Genesis chapter 6, verse chapter 1, identified the whole end. The men must multiply. He's showing you where the sin rests in the men. And y'all overlooked it, which is okay, because you are of the flesh. You got to hide all the ways of the thoughts of the flesh, the sight of the flesh, and the ears of the flesh. All of you doing is hiding all of this because you want to live in it, in a lie. And you want to say this book is about you, but you limit it. So here come the Messiah on the scene telling them, in the end days, it's going to be like the days of Noah and like the days of Lot. Because I said, Father, wait a minute, hold up. He left 4 books saying the same thing. That means 4 books has said the same thing. Something got to be right about this. He said is. He said the right is that they covering it up. They want to claim that this is about them, the melanated people. Oh, this is about us and our people. But when it comes down telling you how ugly you are, how wicked you are, how abomination you are, how evil and murderous and adulterous and all this wicked that you are, you don't see none of that. Oh, you see, he come to get us. He come to get us. We the people. Yeah, you're the people that has failed him since the beginning of time. But he makes sure that his, no matter what they do, they're going to be held blameless. Why? It's because they was handpicked from the kingdom to come down and still be a light unto the earth that he's going to bring back unto his bosom. That's what his son, the Son of Man, came to die for. The loss that came down as the one, the sons of Yah, the servants of the Most High Yah, the chosen. Those are who the death of the cross was about. The loss. Not your sick mind. It's impossible for you to still be lost today. And we at the end. Last days. And you still lost. You're losser than you were 20 years ago. 30, 40, 50. You more lost today than you were yesterday. Because your desire is to find pleasure in one's flesh. Understanding. They flesh wisdom. They flesh knowledge. So if people over here are celebrating the pagan holidays, if you are of the light and you represent the light, you should bring spirit and truth into their pagan holidays by explaining that they have their holidays. If you are in the light, this is what we can do for us. Oh no, you're too busy opening your ugly mouths about all the pagan holidays to where, okay, this is what a professional basketball player, she retired, a woman basketball player who took over this hotel. Her and I was talking and she said, I said, well, why would you come down to this? Why would you, you don't even have to do this. She said she loved people. And she said she's a good counselor and a good minister to people. And she said the number one thing that she carries in her back pocket. She said the number one thing she carries in her back pocket throughout her life. If you got a problem, make sure in the back pocket you got your solution. Don't come to me with a problem if you don't have a solution. You see? And I say unto you all, these people on these devil platforms are coming to you in the world. Because they only represents the ways of the world. They're not coming to bring you light. They're not coming to bring you spirit and truth. They're coming to blame the world for the world living in them. That's why. That's why. You all thought they was telling you because they trying to warn you and tell you something. They ain't trying to tell you nothing you don't see. You see the pagan holidays. You don't need nobody to coach that to you year after year after year throughout years, months, days. You don't need nobody to keep coaching that to you because truth don't need nobody to back it up nor back it down. Like righteous. Righteous don't need you to stand on this left and this right. It's going to hold up on its own. It don't need you. Who are you? You get it? So what I'm seeing is people are so bombarded because they have been out in the ocean for too long. They don't see dry land. Dry land is where righteous rest, y'all. Dry land is where the light and spirit of truth reside. They can't see it because they have swam so many years out in the ocean. They think they are spirit and truth. They think they are the word of God. They think they have all understanding, all everything within them, and they have nothing. That's why they got to keep routing to you what the world is doing and can't tell you what Yah is saying because they so busy telling you what the world is doing. Now with me, I explain to my kids from now on, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something different and I'm going to include my children. If they want to, they can. If they don't, they don't. But I'm going to do something different. Sister Deborah, like the Father said, you already know, Deborah, you seek the kingdom first. And the kingdom explained and broke everything down to you. Each step you take, I'm here. That's why you constantly learning. You constantly learning. It's because you seeked me first. And you continue to seek me. Even being 63, you still continue to seek me. You don't seek what the world is saying. You don't seek YouTube in the ways that these people are saying, oh, what they saying is right. You seek me for spirit and truth. You seek me still for the light. And I've given you the light in the right hand, but you're still seeking me for brightness. And you already have the light. How? Because I created that lane for you to run in. And I have to keep reminding you, you got the lane, they don't. You got the lane, they don't. So I say to you all, you really don't understand why the world have detached these pagan holidays into the Father's creation of the fourth season. If you're going to talk about the world, you have to understand who you are in Yah. And once you understand who you are in Yah, and you recognize that you got the light, or the light rests in, you know, spirit and truth, you will kick what the pagan holidays are doing. Because with me, I do have some feelings about, I think it's what you call compassion for the fact that I've seen it, how people get caught up in these holidays, and they thinking that these holidays is what really moving them. It's not. It's the four seasons of my Father. And because we ignore his four seasons, we don't celebrate his four seasons. So the world then implanted pagan holidays within them season and gave it to their world, and they world celebrated. But if you are in the spirit, why aren't you celebrating the four seasons that the Creator have in his chambers, that he's given not just you, but the earth itself, the ground, the trees, everybody is celebrating the season. Everything stands according to the season, and it moves according to the season. Where are you? Why aren't you taking advantage of it? You don't have to go and celebrate the ways of the pagan, but you can celebrate the seasons in the order that you chooses. Now, this is what the Father said to me earlier that made me come to speak on this. He said, Deborah, once you have seek ye the kingdom, you see who I am. You said to the people, you telling them that I created the fourth season. Only I can do that. Satan can't do that. You're telling them people about my power. You telling them about my right hand, my authority. You always put me on high, where I shall always be, whether they put me anyway. But you can celebrate those four seasons, and you can celebrate them the way that pleases you, because you have learned spirit and truth of the fourth season. And if you want to celebrate the fourth season, or the months that rest within the fourth season, do so. Don't let the flesh of man who celebrates, who always got their mouth wide open regarding the pagan holidays, when they don't even recognize my days that they shall and should be enjoyed. Half of these people too, really honestly, a lot of people are overweighted. A lot of people are too ill. A lot of people don't have no respect for the fourth season. That's why they hooping and hollering about the pagan holidays, because they looking over here at the pagans. Oh, they enjoying this, they enjoying that, and they enjoying that. Oh, they evil, they wicked. The Father said, use the light. They enjoying what they planted in to what I had already created. What part of those seasons do you enjoy? What part do you embrace? What part do you salute in my name? What part do you honor in my name? Now, but you over here talking about what the pagan are doing in these seasons. Ain't none of your business. Enjoy those seasons in the way that the Father has created them. Enjoy them. You don't have to set nothing up in holidays or in pagan, but enjoy them as a creation from the bosom chamber of the Most High Yah. Okay? So, let me set an example or something else. So, I like that because the Father, he always has a blade that he can cut in and out of people. And what people get out of it will be they fleshly realm can't embrace spirit and truth nor the light. So they like to counteract and go after truth when it's spoken too loud and too clear. This is where you know what seed they represent. They're either coming for the spiritual or they're about the flesh, which is Satan's seed. Because Satan's seed don't want no word of spirit and truth spoken. It don't want no light to shine up in the midst of no darkness. So people will counteract righteous with unrighteous and stand proud and bold therein. So let me tell you what I did upload it on my Facebook, my TikTok, and I also uploaded it here on YouTube. Life is not living. Living is not life. Spirit is not flesh. Flesh is not spirit. Right is not wrong. And wrong is not right. Heaven is not hell. And hell is not heaven. Being in the beginning is not the end. And the end cannot be compared. Praise the mighty God. What I'm saying is, life is not life, even though you all have lived. Life is not living. That's the first one. Life is not living. But you all are living and calling it life. Because you didn't know that life is spiritual, living is flesh. Understanding when you running your gap, are you in spirit, or are you in spirit and truth, or are you in your flesh truth? Okay, and then I have here, living is not life. Living cannot and is not and cannot be compared to life. Life is the breath and the image likened to Yah. That's what life is. Living is how you take your flesh and live it. So let's go back to living. Life is not living, and living is not life. Life is the breath that has been blown in you, and when it blew into you, it blew you in a image like unto, which is a spirit, Yah. He gave that to every man, woman, and boy and girl, because you can't survive without it. That's why cloning is clone, but it don't have what? The breath of life, nor does it have a spirit. Okay? Now, living. We had many questions about living. You remember how we talked so many times about this is my life, I do what I want. Now this is what living is. Living is when you take your flesh and you live it a certain way. You live it. You just live it. You see? Just any and every way that you want and you choose to live. That's the choice that you have. But most 99 trillion, the choice that you are living also identify your eternal destiny. The life, not the life, the living that you are living. See, living is for the flesh. Life is for the spirit. That's why people got it all messed up from the floor. They got it all messed up thinking life is the way it's living. And living is life. No, it's not. In life, you don't have no choice. In living, you have the choice. But which one is going to stand before the throne? Which one going to stand before the throne? Living is your flesh, living out its ways of the flesh. Life is the breath that Yah blows in, and when he blows that breath, he also gives you an image like unto him, which is your own spirit. Which one is going to see the kingdom for judgment? Which one? Not your living, meaning your living is your flesh. It's going to see the grave. But your life, that is the image of Yah, is going to stand before for its eternal destiny. Why? Because life is the breath the Father gave you and the spirit that was blown in through the breath, which is his image. Okay? Now, when you get that, you got to have a body, which is your flesh. So your flesh is living. And if man teaches you polygamy, adultery, fornication. Now they dipping into a twosome, threesome. Now they have planted the seeds in the Europeans' mind, and now they talking anal. They talking all these things that Yah has created for us to perform in the bed. Not listening to Romans chapter 1, telling them that you was going to do that, so I turned you over to a reprobated mind. There's no way home then. So that's why when they talk about polygamy, they don't understand that goes into so much wicked and darkness that it did with all of David, Abraham, not Isaac, Jacob, and Solomon. All it led them was in darkness. Polygamy did not bring near one of these men closer to the light. Polygamy did not show them the way to righteous. Polygamy has no chance nowhere near righteous. It has chances near sin, wicked, abomination, fornication, and adultery. And this is why the world in which serves Satan, the seed of Satan, celebrates it in a way. They would kill. That's what their mindset is today, is to kill people who don't agree with what they've been doing. Because before they give up what they have been doing and turn away from it, they would kill you. They would take your very life. At least they would go after your very life. Just because of polygamy. They would curse, they would fuss, they would fight. Why? Because they stepped in the furnace fire. And this furnace fire is not one that the Ruach is going to be in the midst of. This is a furnace fire of wickedness. And before they let it be looked at and said to be that, they would take your life to keep their wicked and evil continuing. But they don't understand the day that they in. They understand not the D-A-Y. The D-A-Y that we in was given to the wicked and evil to perform these end days. And in spite of it, it still got to walk my Father's word out. You think that power ain't going to be behind it? Come up on his and you see. Come up on yours and you'll see what's what. So I'm saying to you, life is not living. So you cannot take the breath of life and the image that is breathed in your body to be living. Once you take living, which is the flesh, and you live it the way of the flesh, then that life that was given to you is going to be judged on how you let the flesh live its desires. That's why polygamy and all this stuff can't be accepted. It's because when you stand before the kingdom, the Father going to look at you and he going to say, everything I've given you, you turned it into the way a man told you it is. Not separating life from your way of living. Living from your way of life. They were two separate. So you were living out your flesh. Your flesh pleasure, your flesh desire, your flesh wanting to be a king, a leader, your flesh want materialistic things. This is why all of our melanated men that was once something is crumbling down. You ain't seen nothing yet, y'all. Y'all gonna see death behind all that. All of that. Wait till the 2024 pull in. You gonna see things you ain't never seen before. You gonna hear things you ain't never heard before. You gonna see things happen, even in your own household, like you never heard before, like you never seen before. You gonna see things really taking its course, because the Father said, as the tribulation is in front of them, and the judgment and the fire and my wrath, they turn their head to look in the back to keep from seeing what is in front of them, which is okay. The Father say, I'm going to show it to them in the back, on every side, and in front. Let's pull up in 2024. Let's see how they like me now. So in this little poem, life is not living and living is not life. Now, living is when your flesh do the things that it's desired. Okay? That's what living is. And if you live out your flesh, that's your judgment right there. Your flesh don't have nothing to do with with y'all at all. So if you live in this life on the earth according to your flesh, well, don't know that your flesh has already gave you a whole overall of where your spirit is going to live eternal. Because the way that you're living. And this is why these men feel that they can go after Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and David, and Solomon. Because they looked at their flesh. They looked at their living and not their life. They looked at their living and not their life. Spirit is not flesh, and flesh is not spirit. That's all wrapped in to life and living. Because you got a spirit and you have a flesh. You cannot make them the same. You cannot bring them into a oneness. You have to be able to either live the way of the spirit while you living in the flesh. You have to get the flesh under the subjection to the spirit. They don't want to do that. They love the flesh having its dominion, having its way, having its polygamy, its lust. And it's amazing how the Europeans can take polygamy and sell it out in the sea to all kind of abomination. And then here go the melanated men trying to get it in order. You can't get nothing in order because there never was any righteous order in it. But by them thinking that since they see David, Abraham, Isaac, well, we're gonna somebody showed us Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, them did it, so we can. No, you can't. You're following their living and not their life. You see, you're following their living and not their life. So I'm gonna upload that onto a polygamy mindset as well. So life is spirit. Spirit is not flesh. And flesh is not spirit. So you cannot make your flesh the overseer of your, no, you can make your flesh the overseer of your spirit. That's when you are already written in the lake of hell. When your flesh and all the desire and what you desire and you want and you go after in your flesh shows that your flesh has dominion over your spirit. Okay? Your spirit has limitations. It has order. It has righteous. It has just. It has upright. It's not going to let your flesh get dominion over it unless your flesh has the power already written that you are assigned to the lake of hell. So therefore, your flesh overpower your spirit. But they are two of the same. Two totally different. Spirit is not flesh and flesh is not spirit. But it's where your destiny rests only in your spirit. So if spirit is not controlling your flesh, that means that your home, your way home to eternal is the lake of fire. That's where you belong. Because you let your flesh override your spirit. And the spirit shall always have dominion over your flesh. Okay? And that's like running behind somebody, doing things what people say, doing it their way. Because they say this, they say this, I'm going to run do it that way. That's when you allow someone's flesh to override your spirit in the wicked of the wicked ways. Okay? Now you go into righteous. Right is not wrong and wrong is not right. Being able to recognize that right is not wrong and wrong is not right is when the spirit rules. Okay? When the spirit is the overseer of the flesh. When the spirit rules over your life, you see, your living. When the spirit rules over your living and rules over your flesh, then you stand in righteous. But when your flesh rule over your living and your flesh rules over your spirit, then wrong is right to you. And they have nothing in common. You either wrong or you right. You can't make wrong right and right wrong. Right stands with life. Right stands with spirit. Right is not going to stand with you in the flesh. Right is not going to stand on the side of the flesh. So everything that you orchestrates out of this flesh is not nothing good. It's not anything righteous. That's why the Father says you cannot worship him in your flesh, but only your spirit. Because the spirit is the only thing that can be found holding righteous. Okay? So therefore, right is not wrong and wrong is not right. But the way that the teaching and preaching you are, right is wrong and wrong is right. Heaven is not hell, and hell is not heaven, nor can it be. Heaven is not hell, and hell is not heaven, and nor can it be. So when you're running around here thinking this is heaven on earth, because you have what you want, you're doing the things that you desire, heaven is not hell, and hell is not heaven. Hell is what you are on the earth. It is the grave. Okay? Hell is a place where also is called the lake of fire. So you can't take heaven and make it hell and make hell heaven. That's what the world is doing. They're saying that I'm about the Most High Yah. I am full of the Ruach HaKodesh. I have the spirit of the Ruach. I understand Yeshua HaMashiach. I understand this book. I live by this book. We know in the spirit, we don't live by the book. Because it does not come by the book. It comes by having an ear, which is one singular, which is Holy Spirit. Hearing the Holy Spirit. That's where everything comes by, y'all. Because he, the Holy Spirit, is the teacher of all things. So you can either hear in your flesh, natural ears, or you can hear the ear of the Spirit that teaches you all things. So heaven is not hell, and hell is not heaven. By and by, you shall see the difference. Not only shall you see, you shall feel the difference. The beginning is not the end. And the end cannot be compared. Because we have nothing to compare the end to outside of eternal. So therefore, the beginning is not the end. A lot of us thinking, oh, we can do all we want in this life, living, and in this flesh, and in this wrong, and in this hellhole. We can do whatever we want to do. Because the beginning of this living, and this flesh, and this wrong, and this hellhole is the end. Oh no, baby. The end cannot be compared. So I hope that you got something out of it. And I say to you, we're running up. I ain't gonna say the New Year's because it's no really new year as man has created it. The newness, I think, comes in the season, which is the spring. And if we can't embrace the new in the spring, we should not embrace the New Year's in the world, of the world. If the world wants to celebrate as a pagan holiday, New Year's, shut your ugly loud mouth. Get up and get some exercise and do some work, some real work in the spirit of truth with the light in your right hand. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, the pagans' holidays is their holidays. If Yah has suffered them to embed them into his fourth season, shut your mouth and let them do what they do best and be about the Father's business, his fourth season. Celebrate that. Shalom and shalom.